Carl Anderson.
Oh, Lance Roylo.
How's it going?
Are you kidding me? I'm feeling like I had just wiped all the sweat off my body from this exciting adventure that Marvel has given us yet once again. So,
Yeah, so I guess within the last hour we both just finished watching
yeah.
WandaVision, right? So
Yeah.
if anybody's listening, we just finished a podcast with our friend Harrison where we talk about video game video or movies that were based off video games. And
Yes.
after that, we just took a break and we both watched episode three. So we've never discussed anything about episode three, and
Nope.
even when we get coffee every day, I told you
You're like,
let's
nay.
not
You're like, stop.
let's
Let's
stop
stop.
talking
I
about it.
know.
Let's talk about it right now. Okay, are you ready?
Yeah, yeah.
And
Well,
go.
no.
And
Okay,
go.
so first of all, I kept wanting to tell you, like, I love this series just because it's so different and odd.
It's so different.
Yeah,
It's
because
so different.
they're able to incorporate a lot of different things, different concepts and ideas, all revolving around this this make believe world, which is basically comprised of vintage
Yeah.
sitcoms, right? In every form, right? From Bewitched
I
to
Dream of Jeannie, a little bit of that in
Yep,
there.
yep. That's kind of like the what is enmeshed in there as well.
Right.
This recent episode, obviously, the Brady Bunch is what that
I
one
would,
smacks
dude.
of.
I was gonna say the house looks like the Brady Bunch house, from what I
Exactly like
remember.
it.
Not that I watched it a lot, but from what I remember, with
Yeah.
the colored kind of
Now,
windows above the entrance, kind of.
it is everything. I mean, right down to the opening title sequence of their so-called show. Right? It's like all the little pieces that they've put together. It's just like, but they do it so well, and it's so genuine because it feels so real.
Yeah, you know what? I thought it was gonna be at least in the first. So there's gonna be spoilers in here if no one's watched it yet. So, um, I thought it was gonna be. I don't know if satire is the right word, but I thought they're so genuine in the way that they did it.
Yes.
Like they're like doing it
Mm-hmm.
for real. It was impressive. It was really cool.
Yeah.
And I know there's little Easter eggs here and there. Like
Yeah.
there's probably more. I just caught one in episode three, but
Really, what was it?
the um, Hydra soap or whatever, the commercial in episode three where
See,
it's
man,
like
yeah, Hydra soap, Hydra.
Hydra, yeah, whatever it's called, but it's like a soap, and it's
Yes,
called
the
and I'm
commercial.
guessing that has something to do, yeah. But yeah, let's break it. Let's go back to the beginning. Let's break it down by episode, kind of what we thought. So episode one, obviously the pilot of the episode. Um, it was fully black and white, fully
Yeah.
the show. I mean, it was from what I remember, there's not even a hint, right? There's not even a
No,
hint
no,
that that's not real, right?
no. There's
In
a couple
episode one,
hints.
is there? What
There's a
was
couple
that?
hints.
What was that?
So the first hint was that the first clue is you realize that they don't know what's going on because
Oh, yeah,
which in my head is genius. Okay, because they're trying to convey to the audience that these two, Wanda and Vision, do not know how they got there or what is going on. But they're conveying it in the same form as the vintage sitcom. You know, it's like they stay within the confines of the vintage sitcom framework, the rules of the vintage sitcom, which is
Oh,
like,
right.
there's a heart there, and I know, and they both don't want to tell each other that they don't know what the heart means,
Oh, got it. Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
But that's the first thing. It's just like, oh, they both don't know what's going on. They have no idea,
Yeah, and
how it got
actually,
there.
yeah, and then I can't remember if it's episode one or two where Vision is working, but he's not sure what they do.
Yeah,
Remember?
that's the
He's
first
like, "Do we
episode.
make anything?" Yeah, it is the first episode.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay, I
yeah,
understand that.
yeah.
All
And
right.
then that's another little hint there is that the people who he's talking to is like, well, we do a lot of computations. We're computing, like
Mm-hmm.
we're extracting information. So
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of what he alluded to. And then the
Right.
third little bit in there, and then it kind of broke from their reality, was when he had the boss over, you know, for dinner,
Mm.
and his
Right.
boss started choking, right? Now, all the other
Yeah.
characters had to fit in that confines of the sitcom. Even the wife was like, quit joking around. Clearly, great acting skills, right? Because
You
they,
what did that when you saw that just that the that dynamic? What show did you think of? Because I was show an old show that I thought of, and I was like, oh, that's very reminiscent of that show. What did you think?
which part?
The part where the boss comes over for dinner.
Oh, I thought it was still a very Bewitched type episode, smacks
Okay.
of like my three
Oh yeah.
sons and
Okay. You know
Leave
what
It
I
to
thought?
Beaver type, right?
I
Dagwood and Blondie, Bumstead type movies, right?
I yeah, the Bewitched part, yeah, when I was thinking the kitchen part, yeah, that does remind me of Bewitched, but it really, I don't know why, it reminded me of Lucy.
That was episode two.
Oh, was that episode two?
Episode
Okay,
two
yeah,
is
yeah, yeah,
Lucy.
episode two. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
But it's really cool how genuine that they're taking it. And what
yeah.
a weird, what an odd, what a ballsy concept, really. Like let's
Yes,
take these characters and put, and we still don't really know what it is, but
right.
if you watched episode three, we just assume this is a very Truman Show
Yes,
type
but
of deal or something like that.
yeah, but
Um,
it feels to me up until episode three that it was her journey. Like it wasn't about him and her, Vision and
mm,
Wanda. I thought it was all about
Wanda.
Wanda, especially
Mm,
from the first episode, where we broke with reality when the boss was choking, and everyone was freaking out, but nobody would do anything. And then
hmm
Wanda was the only one who's like, "Vision, help him," and he had to obviously use his powers to
hmm
dislodge the meat, and then everything is hunky dory all over again,
hmm
confining to the rules
hmm
of the sitcom. And then at the end of that one, don't we get like a glimpse of what has been happening? Is like something only the audience,
Uh,
only
yeah.
us as the audience get to see an answer or get to see something
Are you talking
further.
about when, like, at
They
the
rewind
end
it.
when they?
No.
I,
They rewind it. Like something happens, something is
oh
revealed,
yeah, yeah, and
and
it
then
happened in episode three as well.
correct, right? So
But in
they,
episode three, they rewind what Vision says,
yeah,
but when they rewind it, it starts over again the scene, and he says something completely different.
yeah. So they
So that
take
was
it back.
interesting,
So they take it back.
right?
So whatever it is in the first, each episode has one
hmm
where they say something that could, um, reveal everything to our main characters, but
hmm
then somebody is obviously
Editing it
pulling the strings, right, and then
hmm
rewinds it back and then changes the outcome so they can remain in this fantasy.
So episode two is also where we meet Geraldine, right? I think that's her name.
Yeah.
We meet
Yes.
Geraldine. She's at the
An antagonist, definitely.
yeah, she's meeting with a group of ladies
Yeah.
to discuss some kind, I can't remember what it was, the magic show, right? For charity.
Yes. Yes.
Is
Yeah.
that right?
Yeah.
And Geraldine is she kind of doesn't know what she's there or what she's there for. And it's
She
kind of odd because even when you watch episode three, it really genuinely seems like she might not exactly know why she's there or something like that, or
No, yeah, that's
right?
well, a lot of these characters they sort of have an understanding, but they're supposed to play within the confines. So
Right, like they're
they
actors and that they
yeah,
have to.
yes.
Yeah, but the thing with Geraldine is I'm not sure if yeah, it's weird, right? Like she's an actor, but it also seems like she's like the kind of person that ended up there and had their like like their memories erased or something like that.
I think
Because
that's
in episode three, she mentions Ultron. Right? She
yes.
mentions Pietro and how Ultron But then she's definitely aware that she's not supposed to say that.
Right.
Right?
Well, then she gets
Yeah.
ousted, obviously.
Yeah, so that was interesting. I was going to ask you about that. When, yeah, total spoiler alert. Sorry if anybody's listening, but when she gets ousted from the
Whatever it
world
is.
that Wanda, whatever it is,
Yeah.
who did that?
That
Did
was
Wanda do it?
Wanda definitely did it because she was the one
Okay,
who was.
but okay. So what did she do though? Did
Well,
she did she launch her like just launch her out and potentially kill this person, or did she had to? You know what I'm saying, right?
yeah,
Like,
yeah, it's a great question, and thus making the plot thicken. The plot thickens a little bit because now Wanda has now created one of her own secrets. Right, this whole time
mm-hmm,
it was Wanda and Vision as a united couple. Hey, we're trying to figure out what's going on here.
mm-hmm,
And this one interaction with Geraldine, where she does mention Ultron and remembers the events or of the real world in the Avengers: Age of Ultron, where her brother Pietro Maximoff is killed in one of the battles. Right? She's not supposed to say it, but then obviously it evokes an emotional reaction from Wanda, kind of breaking her out of the moment. And we don't know how she got rid of her, but she's got great powers.
and she's obviously aware because when Vision asks her
That's
where
it.
Geraldine is, and she's like, "Oh, she had to rush home or something." So like, I'm
Yes.
thinking about it, and I mean, they're gonna have to answer it in episode 4. I'm assuming, and
Mhm.
my assumption is that she didn't just grab her and just launch her,
Maybe
to
she
the
did.
sky, and then I mean, she could have, right?
Maybe
Maybe
she
she
did.
did. That would
Yep.
be weird that she killed her though, because you have to assume that's. I mean, I would assume that's what she thought she was doing, maybe, which
Yeah.
makes her evil,
Well, not evil,
right?
but she does something that's kind of
Pretty
bad.
bad,
Yeah, like
right?
negative, and then lies to Vision.
Oh yeah, and lies to Vision, right?
Yeah.
Or did, alternatively, did she just send Geraldine home, and then whoever's the puppet masters, did they launch her out, or you know what I mean? I don't
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. We don't
something
know.
like that. But
I
what? Let
think
me ask you something. What was the symbol? I didn't catch that.
so.
What was that? An aid?
The
What was
symbol is
that?
a sword, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a sword, and it's the same symbol that was on the radio of our post event from the first episode. So remember how we pulled out after the first episode? We
Oh
pulled
man,
out,
you
and
caught
somebody's
that.
obviously watching. Oh yeah, then you see that sword symbol, and it shows up a couple times, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now, mind you, look this show is actually taken from two books that were written. I think one is 2016. One is probably the House of M, and there was another one. But it's basically these stories that were written about Wanda Maximoff and Vision. There's one is called Vision, and it's about him, like the Pinocchio story, like him wanting to be a real person. So he goes out and creates a wife and creates a family of visions, right? So they've kind of merged these two stories because there's one about Wanda and the Maximoffs, and they've merged these two stories together to kind of weave this, and then they've wrapped it in this vehicle, which is sitcoms. So, yeah, if anyone who's following it, they've probably already like, oh, this, I already know this is like the House of M, right? It's Vision story. So, yeah, but you know, I love the fact that they've just made Wanda. They gave her a secret because we thought this whole time she was
Yeah.
right. Missed the
Um. Okay. Being completely honest, we didn't tell each other what we thought about the first 2 episodes.
yeah.
I was not into it.
No.
I know. So like I grew up watching old, a lot of those shows, Bewitched and Lucy
hmm
and stuff like that. And I mean, I understand it. I thought the concept was still to this day. I still think it's strange,
What
but
is
I
what
can
is?
slowly see it becoming a good story that I can get into because I
Mm,
couldn't, and I understood that it was going to be a slow roll kind of, And I know a lot of people are totally against it, not giving it a chance, and then you have some that are big fans already. And I was kind of in between. I'm like, I'm not super excited about it. I like that they're doing something new, but let me watch more. And I up until the end of episode 3 actually is the only time where when she gets projected out of that world and you see that kind of the connection of the two. Then at the end, I sat there. I was like, huh, okay, now I'm starting to like it. Like and it might be because like you said, now she has her own
Yeah.
secret. They've been sharing this experience together, being totally upfront. Now it's like, oh, like why is she hiding this? Why is Geraldine? Why did she get kicked out? Did who kicked her out? Why was she in there? Why did she say the Ultron secret? So
Yeah,
now
but
I'm kind of like, okay, now,
and guess what? All the other
yeah,
characters know it too. Like they knew.
yeah. Like
They
what's
knew.
who's the girl that is so there's Herb and the other lady that's from Saturday Night Live before.
Yeah, right,
What's
right.
her name? Not Sherry O'Terry, whatever her name is, but
Yeah.
she, yeah, they, obviously,
Anya Gasteyer.
Anna Gasteyer,
Yeah.
right. Sweaty balls.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She's part of the Sweaty balls.
So I
If you don't
thought
know
you
what
were.
we're talking about, look that up.
I actually thought you were just testing me about the sword thing. So I thought you were just joking. So
No, I thought I really didn't know what it was. I thought the reason why I just asked you is because I thought it might be from a sign or a symbol from Ultron
well it
or
is.
something
It's a
like that.
symbol. It's a symbol from the Marvel universe. So it's actually sword, right? Sword is an acronym, but think of it as like it's just basically like Shield. Remember the Agents of Shield?
Oh
But
yeah. But is it
but
good or bad?
sword. It's
Yeah.
good. It's good. I think they're supposed to
Oh.
be like I don't. I just think they're supposed to. They're like an anti counterterrorism unit of some sort. Like not as FBI ish as Shield or no Shield is more like CIA ish, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is
From
kind of
what
like
I
the
understand.
FBI.
Oh, got it, got it,
Yeah,
got it.
yeah, yeah. So
But I mean, overall, I for the first time, I can't wait till episode 4.
oh look at
Great
this.
great
So
cliffhanger.
yeah, great. So sword is an acronym and it's changed. They changed it. I think Marvel changed it, but it stands for Sentient Weapon Observation and Response Division. Sentient Weapon. So
Oh, which is Vision, right?
or Ultron.
Oh, okay. So that
So, but yeah,
okay.
it's
Well,
basically
but
Vision. It is basically Vision. It's
so
sentient.
so I wonder here. Okay, prediction.
Yeah.
Okay, I wonder if this this fake world is basically to keep Vision busy, if that makes sense. Like,
Yeah.
let instead of having this being that's super powerful out in the real world, potentially dangerous, but also potentially good, why don't we just give him this fake world so that he's busy, so that he's not doing. Does that
Well,
kind of make sense?
well,
Like kind of
maybe.
like the Matrix. Think of it like as the Matrix, like
Well,
keeping the mind busy.
yeah, maybe. But here's the
Uh,
thing: you have to figure out how did we get here in the first place? Because Vision's dead. He died. He dead.
he died.
He dead. So we don't know what it is, how he came back, or
Wait,
if it's
okay.
him
When did he die?
in
Or
Avengers Endgame. In fact, he died twice. That's what I
wait a
love
minute,
about this.
he died in Avengers Endgame.
Or the whatever, yeah, the first one, the first part of the Avengers. What is the first one? Endgame is the last one. Avengers
Infinity War.
Infinity War. So yeah, he died
Couldn't they
twice.
just? Yeah, but couldn't they just do the time stone and?
Gone. All the stones are gone.
Okay, so
Did
that
you
means
watch
that
these movies?
I did, man. There's a lot
Okay,
going on.
so this is what happened. So real quick for those of you out there, but so just so you know, Lance, it's like their first effort, Wanda and Vision, which is why they're these two, which have made it so very. If you watch Legacy, it'll kind of tell you all about it, right? In 7 minutes. their first effort to try and keep uh, Grimace from, crushing that stone or from getting all of the stones was Wanda was going to ruin the stone. She's going to break the stone, which keeps Vision alive. And she does it while she's holding Grimace back, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she breaks the stone and he dies. But then, obviously, Thanos uses the Time Stone to turn time back. And he's back alive and then rips the stone out for himself, killing Vision once again. So twice. And then at the end of Endgame, and they kind of touch upon this with Hawkeye. Hawkeye, when Tony's dead, after his funeral, they're both of them, Hawkeye and Wanda, are kind of at this pier talking about, hey, I wish they could have seen this. I hope they could really. I hope that they know that they, their lives were in vain, that they did some good. And Wanda says, as Hawkeye's talking about Black Widow, right? Mm-hmm. And Wanda says she knows. They both know. So she knows something or she feels something that Vision is somehow still around or part of, who knows. But there's a reason why she's in it too, right? So yes, if there is a way for, if they are trying to contain Vision, this supercomputer, which does have elements of Ultron in it, right?
Yeah, I mean, I would think that if he is a supercomputer and couldn't they just? I mean, we're going way out there, hypothetically speaking, for a hypothetical story, anyways. But that they could have just downloaded his files somewhere. I'm just, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
Yeah, got it. Somehow they would cheat the get.
Yeah,
they would cheat it. They got it right.
Oh, he ended up on a network of computers, and I don't know, something like that.
Yeah. Oh no, and I think that's where Wakanda comes in.
Oh gosh,
I'm not kidding you. So when they were trying to repair him,
it was the girl. I don't know her character's name, but she was way advanced than anybody.
Yes. So she was talking some stuff about, I was like, well, I can kind of repair him. I was like, who knows if it's going to be, I can kind of get pieces of him. Yeah. Anyway,
you're right. What it's going to come back is either in the series or in the movie, where they're going to force people to have to watch the movie. They're going to be like, how'd you do it? Well, you remember when we repaired him? We got a piece, extrapolating data, or we're making a copy and backing him up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Something like that.
But here's something also about this series which I like, which is like another whammy. So they've been managed to incorporate the jargon and the lingo, the way people spoke in these sitcoms based on the time. But they're also doing a little bit of social commentary. Have you noticed that? So, for example, they are definitely talking about the machismo way that we all used to think back in the day, right? How they, like in this last episode when he's talking about, goes, oh, we like to talk about how the size of the fruit, it helps the women, it helps the women to understand what it is.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Like how far we've come.
But also this is we used to minimize it and almost demoralize. Like, look at how we used to think of women, right? In our TV shows, we used to belittle them. Then the main characters,
like, that's all they can do, right?
Yeah,
like
they used to do it.
Spend your time in the kitchen.
Yes.
Right.
And women are not very smart, so we say to right. And
it's actually shocking how, if you ever go back and watch some of those shows, especially old cartoons, they're like crazy racist.
If you can find them, a lot of them are gone. But yeah, I used to like crazy racist cartoons. And as a kid, you don't know any better.
You don't know any better.
Yeah, but it's all about. Yeah,
it's the time. I mean, a lot of it's the time too.
I know, but that's also what helps perpetuate, the terrible stereotypes. And then think of if, you and I, we watch these horrible cartoons, but we've also lived in major metropolises and diverse metropolises, right? Diverse cities, and have had diverse groups of friends and are open to. Think of the people who watch those cartoons, but like stay in the same podunk town that they've been in,
Right.
don't know
No,
any better, and it like,
absolutely.
yeah. But I think that's pretty cool of how Disney is pushing that, especially since basically Wanda is arguably the strongest, right? She could have
Yeah.
offed Thanos in Endgame if it wasn't for him saying
That's what many
"Rain
comic book
fire."
people tell me. They
Yeah,
say that like in actuality, she alone could have taken out Thanos because she
yeah,
could have like made a I forgot like just made a basically a different reality, right, or something like that.
yeah. But she has the power to manipulate things and surfaces and everything. Yeah, she could have
But how
taken it
boring
out.
would that be, though? Right?
We couldn't do it, just like Captain Marvel. She could have
Yeah, she could have
easily.
beat Thanos too, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But anyways, yeah. To wrap it up for the first three episodes, I like it mostly because of the ending. The ending of episode three got me. Like now,
Oh yeah,
I have to watch it. Like
and
now, and I think it'll. I'm hoping it'll snowball where I have to know more.
and I think that was smart for them to do that at the end of three, because I think people like yourself who are kind of running out of patience, like, look, I'm just going to give it
Hmm.
one more, and then suddenly you realize, oh, I've been given a big piece of the puzzle, and there is a real world out there,
Hmm.
and this person just got thrown out of whatever it was, and we can clearly see whatever it is, it's big,
Yeah,
right?
and you can kind of see the barrier or
The
whatever you want to
barrier.
call it,
Yep.
like
Yep.
very Hunger Games ish.
Yeah.
Like it's like a dome, like a digital dome or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm typically a 2 episode kind of person. If I'm gonna watch a new show, I'll give it 2 3 episodes, mostly two. I gave that
Game of
one
Thrones.
show on Netflix. No, not Game of Thrones. Netflix, where it's a bunch of superheroes, and they live in a house. I can't or in a big
Umbrella
mansion.
Academy.
Yeah, I gave that one 3 or 4, and I was like, "There's just not enough happening. I
Hmm.
can't continue watching this."
Yeah.
I started during COVID, and it's so funny because I was just talking to someone yesterday about it, and they were like, "Oh, after episode 4, it picks up," and I'm like, "All right, I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't tell if you're just telling me that because you want me to continue."
No.
And I was
Yeah.
like, "Man, there's a lot of like story, which is cool, but I'm like, nothing is happening."
Yeah, and season two of Umbrella Academy is action packed. I mean, it is action packed, but if you don't know anything about it, you'd have to see season one to
Yeah,
understand it. Like, you need to see season one to be like, oh, I'm following it.
yeah, I know. And now
Another great ending
I'm
too.
watching The Boys right now, and I'm on episode 4 or 5 of season 1, and things happen in that show. I'm
Yes,
liking it. I'm just watching it really slowly, but things happen in that show.
things
So
happen. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, um,
The boys, the actual graphic novel, it stays true for the most part, but
mhm.
it's just there's a lot more. It's real. It's a lot more graphic and a lot more horrific in the graphic novel.
Did Seth Rogen wait? So did Seth Rogen write the comic book, or is he just involved with the show?
Yeah, I think he's just involved with the show, the
Oh,
production of
got
it.
it,
Yeah,
got it, got it.
yeah, yeah,
But anyways, yeah, that's a whole nother thing. When I finish that, we can talk about that
yeah.
more. Did you watch season 2?
Of
Did you watch of The Boys? You're
oh
all
yeah,
caught up?
man, I'm all
Oh, okay,
yeah.
okay. I'm gonna try to catch up
That's
soon.
that's episode, like, I'm right there as the episode happens. So
Mm,
yeah,
mm, mm, mm. But anyways, another thing that I wanted to talk about, shifting from Disney Plus to HBO,
yeah,
was Lockdown, which is a movie that I saw the trailer, super excited about.
yeah.
Spoiler alert! I'm going to spoil it for you guys right now. Um, don't watch it. Don't waste your time. If you watch the trailer, you're fooled because you're like, in the very beginning of the trailer, it looks like it's like a love story gone bad during COVID. And I remember watching the trailer, I was like, okay, this is going to be a sad love story. I get it. And then maybe halfway, you find out it's a diamond heist movie. and you're like, I was excited. I was like, whoa, this is so cool. And I had just finished watching Lupin, so I'm like all about the heist, and I love heist movies. And I'm like, that is a crazy mix. It starts off COVID, love gone wrong, to
Mm-hmm.
oh my gosh, let's fix our relationship and steal this diamond. And I'm like, oh man, this is awesome. And then I watched the movie. Holy
And
crap, that
and
movie sucks,
was
guys.
it any of that that you just said?
It's actually okay, so it's like 90% their relationship
Okay.
and 10% the heist.
Okay.
And it's like not even good. Like it's not it's so disappointing. Like it feels like when they were writing the movie, they were like, "Oh crap, we're on page 90. We only have 5 pages to do the
We
heist.
we need something to happen.
We need something to happen." And then they did it, and it's just like
Well,
it's just so bad. It's like it was I watched it and I was like, "Man." And the funny thing is right before I watched it, I'm sitting there on my couch. I'm about to press play. I'm like, let me go on Rotten Tomatoes, which I don't always trust, but I think it's a good barometer for things. So I got on Rotten Tomato. It has like a 60, which looking back, it's probably too high, like
mm-hmm.
65 or something. I'm pretty sure they paid off some reviewers, but anyways, so I'm looking at it, and it's a lot of them are like the general consensus was, the concept is pretty cool, especially given the times, and the actors are great, which they were, and some of the situations were, I think if you've ever been in a relationship or just seen movies and love movies in general, you kind of understand like the struggles that you have. But it just went on so long, and then when it got to the part that you were excited about, it was such a letdown.
Well,
It was crazy how much of a letdown it was.
it sounds to me like I haven't seen the movie. I've only seen the trailer.
Don't please don't.
But
That's the best part. Just
I'm
watch
just
the trailer.
I'm just saying it sounds like in the writing, like in the script itself, the diamond
Mm-hmm.
was representative of the relationship, right? That's what they're trying to get to, right?
Yeah,
They want
yeah.
this relationship to work.
Mm-hmm.
And
The
then at the
acting was
end of the
great too.
actual movie, they're like, "Oh yeah, there's a diamond heist in this script."
That's kind of
Yeah.
what it was.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it was supposed to be the big like crescendoed up to this big climax, but man, the heist could have been in the middle of the movie. It was so whatever. It just wasn't great. Out of all the heist movies I've seen, that's probably the worst heist. If you, I mean, I don't even know if you can consider a heist movie. Maybe it's not a heist movie. It's a love story with a heist in it. God,
Yeah.
don't watch. Please don't waste your time. I know you watch a lot of
Yeah.
movies, and even if people say it's bad, but trust me, Carl,
I won't.
that is a waste of an hour
I won't.
and 45 minutes
You know, it's
or
really hard.
whatever.
It's really hard to get me to watch rom-coms or even like
Well, no, I
roms.
mean, I love rom coms. I personally love This is not a rom com. This is a very sad. I mean, there's a lot of struggle. There's very few laughs, if any. I don't even know if it has any funny moments in it.
Oh, that sounds
Um,
dismal.
yeah, I mean, it's like like it's pretty real because they're talking about COVID, and there's some really depressing parts about it that
Yeah.
I think, especially at now during. I mean, the pandemic is literally still
But like
going on.
everyone's like, we're still in it. We don't want to watch any more of this.
Yeah, but I continued watching because I thought the payoff is going to be this really cool, calculated Ocean's 11 type. We're going to
With
figure
two
it out.
with two people who,
Right, two
have worked
two
it
good
out.
actors too. Yeah, that were obviously in relationship troubles, and they're gonna get together, or they're gonna figure out this diamond heist, and their plan is to go their own separate ways, but then it'll bring them closer, and they'll be in love again because they work together. Whatever it is.
Yeah, that sounds terrible.
Oh man.
That sounds terrible.
Anyways,
That sounds
the
terrible.
consensus is don't stream it, skip it. And if it was in the movies and I watched it, I'd be super pissed.
How are you able to watch rom-coms? I mean, I
I mean,
get it.
I like it because it's funny, or literally rom com, and it's like light. Like
Sometimes.
yeah, I mean, my best friend's wedding. I've already seen it 50 times at least. I could watch it another 50 times.
Yeah,
It's just
so
light. It's funny.
that is the
You could just have it in the background.
that is the template for rom-coms. Like that's what you want it to be like, but they're all garbage. They're all the same. Like it's the same thing. We already know how it's gonna be, right? It's like okay,
Sure. All right. The Proposal
here's
with
the court.
Ryan Reynolds.
Here's the court.
Hilarious.
Here's the courtship. Here's the montage of them really
Okay.
liking each other.
Are they predictable? For sure.
Yeah,
They're predictable.
just
Well, okay.
just
well,
like
my
action
best friend's
films.
wedding was not as predictable as you would think because she doesn't get the guy.
Right. Yeah.
Right? So that one's not predictable. Um, the Proposal was funny, but that was predictable. What's another rom? You've got Mail.
They're all
Rom-com.
the same. They're all the
Predictable,
same.
but come
They're
on,
all the
man.
same.
That I could watch that all day too.
They're all the same. That's why.
Right.
That's why. What's his name? Nicholas Sparks. It's like that dude. Like like I keep saying it. He's the Michael Bay of romantic movies. Michael Bay has a few devices in his tool belt when he's
That he
making
goes
movies.
to.
Explosions, right? Machismo, talk, right? Like manly talk. Like we don't have enough time for this, right?
Transformer Heaven. Transformer Heaven. Don't forget.
Yeah, cool stuff. Vintage scenery, right? Mixed in with like cool, neat, new, shiny stuff.
Right.
Neat car, like explosions. That's what he does. Nicholas Sparks, same thing. It's like
It's just like J.J. Abrams with the
with the flares.
the flare.
With the flares.
Yeah, the flares are cool though, man. Flares are cool. But anyways, yeah. So that's enough about that terrible movie.
Yeah.
You wanted to talk about something that came out this morning.
Oh, the trailer for Kong, and you should put it up right now if we can. But
Yeah.
when I saw that trailer mixed in with the soundtrack.
Oh, by the way, the soundtrack. If anybody
Man.
watched the trailer, that soundtrack sucked. Did you like the music? The music
It
was
got me
so.
It got me pumped up.
I wish it was. I wish it was another pumped up song, or I wish it was like a more dramatic song. But I listened to that and I was like, this is so corny.
No,
I don't know. I thought it was corny.
I thought that's how it's because that's perfect because we're okay. Look, you need to give me something like that. Like Beasties, how they've done it already to death in Star Trek, right? Sabotage, right? Because it pumps you up.
So.
And
Right.
it's campy. I mean, we're watching a giant monkey uppercut a giant lizard while he's hanging out on a battleship. I mean, it's silly and it's campy, and it's a harken back to the original Kong. But then I love how we get like right in the middle of this trailer. They also give us a glimpse that this thing is probably going to end in Tokyo, where Godzilla typically always is. That's where it always is.
Let me ask you something.
Yeah.
So from what I understood from the previous movie, by the way, I didn't watch the previous Godzilla movie. I watched the one before that, so I don't know all the stories. But anyway, and I clearly don't know as much about it as you do. But from what I understand, wasn't Godzilla the good one? Take away Kong. Just out of the monsters, take away Kong. Wasn't Godzilla the good one? So my question when I watched it was, why are both of these good guys essentially fighting each other? And then I went on Reddit, and there was a whole discussion where they said it was I can't remember the exact name. You'll know when I said that they think that the Godzilla that he's fighting initially is like Mecha G or Mech G or some. Let me see if I can read. Some kind of other Godzilla that's bad, I guess.
Okay.
And do you know what that means?
No, well, I think are they talking about Mecha Godzilla?
The bad one.
So no, Mechagodzilla was a Godzilla that was built. It's a robot Godzilla. It was a thing in the 60s or 70s that the Japanese did to help push their like how do we what's the one thing that the Japanese love? They love robots. They love
Mm.
kaiju giant. So they created a Mecha Godzilla to fight Godzilla, and then later on they fought together against bigger creatures.
Mm.
There's so many iterations to the story, but originally, Godzilla's obviously it was
The
the
king, right? He's the king.
well, Godzilla initially, the very first Godzilla, it is the man of the literal the an iteration of the atomic bomb, right? It's
Mm-mm.
what it was. It's like this nuclear giant thing that destroys everything and can't be stopped, and that's what it represented.
What it
The nuclear
represented.
war, right? So, but as people found this giant monster awesome, eventually Godzilla became to be our hero, Godzilla, and it became our friend, and then
Right.
it helped people. So
So
yeah,
what is
now so then he
this?
became good, and yes, you're right. Kong was always the bad one. They killed Kong. Like Kong in both of the American
Well,
movies,
well, well,
Kong was a shitty ape who would
but wasn't Kong good in the Skull Island one?
sort of, yes. He was protecting, I mean, he killed a lot of army guys,
There's
but he was also protecting a
the
small
island,
tribe.
and
Yeah, an
yeah.
island, yeah.
So that's why. Yeah. So that's why I was confused. I'm like, wait, he's actually good, but so is Godzilla. So why the hell are they fighting?
Okay, so this is what's going to happen. Okay?
Is this prediction time? Or wait,
Yeah.
is it, where are you getting? Is this a educated guess, or are you getting this from the
It's a
books or
little bit
something?
it's a little bit of both.
All right.
So we already know that there's a monster verse, right, being
Mm-hmm.
built, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, so, and the last Godzilla movie, we basically got all of those other, like King Ghidorah and
Mm-hmm.
Mothra and all these other creatures, kind of coming out. They showcased them, and eventually, like showing off the crazy, ridiculous new powers that Godzilla can use, right? And in trying to build the monster verse, like Kong doesn't have powers. He
Yeah.
doesn't,
Right.
right? He doesn't have powers.
Yeah. Just strong.
He's just strong. But also, if you notice, like if I don't know if you saw the last or if you
He's
saw the
also
Kong
smart
movie,
too.
he's smaller. They made him giant.
Okay. Okay.
They beefed this thing up.
So check this out though. So I was watching a YouTube video a couple weeks ago where they show the different sizes in the universe from like they have a human and then they're like young Kong,
Oh, that's cool. I
big
want to
Kong.
see that. You gotta send that to me. I
Yeah, I'll
want to see
send it to
that.
you. So and it goes to like I can't remember like all the bigger things, but it made it the way that they were labeling the Kongs is that this is just the older Kong that he gets bigger. That's the way that they showed it in the thing. So when
Mm,
I send it to you, they're like young Kong and he's like 50 feet or whatever. And then they're like, whatever Kong. And then they put like 2021 adult
old
Kong
Kong.
300 feet or whatever it
Yeah,
is. And when they put him next to Godzilla in the graph, he's like about
tiny.
the same size,
Oh,
like
as the adult.
height wise. Yeah. So,
Strange.
but in the Godzilla way that they explained it, it was by the movie and the time period.
Yeah.
That's how they explained why he got bigger and smaller and bigger and smaller. Where Kong, it was just
Oh,
like young Kong. They didn't say teenager, but like like this
Teen
this age
Kong.
Kong. So and then on the
Teen
Reddit threads,
Kong.
I've something like that. And then on the Reddit threads, people were explaining that or saying that the reason why he got bigger was that he just wasn't fully in that whatever species he is. He just wasn't fully grown yet. But the
But
one in this movie,
yeah,
he's fully
baloney.
grown.
It's
I mean,
it's
who?
yeah, it's baloney. It's
Yeah,
fine. It's fine because it's like
yeah.
obviously they needed to be able to have the two monsters be the same height, or else you're like,
Oh yeah, because if
like I mean,
Godzilla's as tall as a freaking building, and
and he's
Kong's gonna
got
be 50 feet tall.
powers. He's got
Yeah,
powers, right? But the thing
right,
is,
right.
what I loved, they exploited that. Kong has opposable thumbs and can use tools. I love it.
No, I mean, yeah, I mean the fact
Did you
that
notice what
he's.
they were doing? Did you notice? Did you see that? Okay, so there's a scene
I
where
watched the trailer one time, so I can't.
okay, so in the trailer, they talk about how they throw back, yeah, on the island in the first movie with Kong, he's the hero, but they also said he was like hundreds of years old and the protector of that island, and he would protect against other giant horrible creatures, right? Mm-hmm. So they show like what looks like a backstory of him getting attacked by flying creatures, and the creature's wings clearly is the same tool that he uses in the trailer to like shield a Godzilla blast and like do a Thor hammer blow on Godzilla's head. You saw that part, right?
Yeah, so, I did see that part. I didn't know the reference, but I mean that is one advantage that he has, is that he's probably smarter than the lizard Godzilla.
Yeah. Okay. So to answer your question, I'm sorry I went off topic there, but to answer your question, they're setting it up to definitely not have a winner, but these two are going to are going to team up somehow to defeat
the rest of them,
whatever it is in the next movie. They're going to set it up. They're going to set it up like Avengers set it up to be like,
oh, got it. But in this movie, we're going to be able to see like, holy crap, they're super powerful.
We want to see their powers, and we want to see a battle, like who would win. It's kind of like think of this as
Thor versus Hulk or something like that.
Think of it as Superman versus Batman in that Dawn of Justice. Same
Please
thing.
Don't even mention. Why would you mention that?
I know. Hey, look, we're getting
movie.
The Snyder Cut real soon, and it's going to be awesome. I mean, at least it'll be more fun.
Oh, actually, wait, take that back. Wait, I'm thinking of the wrong movie. I didn't see Dawn of Justice, but I heard it's not good anyway. I was thinking of Batman versus Superman, like the actual Batman versus Superman movie.
Oh, that's what.
Is that Dawn of Justice?
Yeah.
No, the Batman versus Superman, the one where Superwoman is actually the strongest one there.
Superwoman? You mean Wonder Woman?
Wonder Woman.
Yeah, whatever it was right before
whatever movie that one sucked. But anyways,
I think it was Dawn, because it was like the dawn. It's like they're starting to come together. They're starting to assemble. Anyway, no, but it's like that. We're going to see their powers. We're going to see both of them utilize these powers, and then I don't think at the end there's going to be a winner, or we're going to get a glimpse of the real villain, and
So it'll be, so maybe just predicting here. So it'll be like they're fighting, and then all of a sudden right at the end, some crazy monster like comes out of nowhere, and then they both look at it and they're like, okay, we need to stop. We need to stop what we're doing, and let's team up and beat that big thing.
Yes.
Whatever it is.
Because in the trailer yes, that's exactly it. In the trailer they kind of talk about, oh, these two guys are good. Like, we need Kong. We need Kong to defeat Godzilla. Right. I don't know why Godzilla's hurting people.
Exactly.
And it's like, oh,
and that's just that too. I mean,
he's so misunderstood, Godzilla.
There's no way they would kill one of those franchises.
No, yeah.
With one of them dying. Like, that's obviously not happening. Yeah. But I mean, like, I'm with everybody. I'm excited. Who isn't excited to see big, huge things?
You know what it is? I'm sorry.
Each other.
Sorry, like idiot. Everyone, if anyone's watching and knows about it, they're probably like, duh. The cutscene or the after scene at the end of the last Godzilla movie, one of the King Ghidorah heads was saved. So it's going to be King Ghidorah again, who's a crazy, it's a 5-headed, it's basically a Hydra.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so so it can grow from the head?
Its head grows back. Like, it's hard to kill. So I think I'm pretty sure at the last Godzilla there was a head that was like thrown and like
was that
cut
movie
off.
worth watching? Was that worth watching? I didn't watch it.
Do you like big monsters?
I do.
Yeah, then it's worth watching. It's worth watching.
Okay, because I watched some YouTube clips and those clips were cool.
Let me ask you this.
I like Pacific Rim, dude.
I love Pacific Rim, but I also I especially
I didn't see the second one. There's a second one, right?
Yeah, but it's not done by what's his face.
Oh. Yeah, I watched the first one, and I was like, this is freaking awesome.
I mean, the cast that you had, man. You had Idris, and what's his name from, what's
Tron.
that guy's name? Huh?
I don't know. He was in Tron, though. I can't.
Who?
He's the main guy in Tron. I don't know what his name is though. But
No, 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 no. That wasn't
in
the main guy in
Tron?
Tron.
What? Yeah,
It's
it
the guy
was.
from that show. God bless. Here we go. Pacific Rim.
I'm pretty
Pacific
sure it's
Rim.
the guy from Tron.
Mm-mm.
What?
No, 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 no. It's
Are you sure?
God bless.
What's the new? Oh, Tron Legacy. Are you sure it's not?
It's the guy from that biker show.
Oh, the one on FX, right? Is that who you're talking about?
Charlie Hunnam.
Yeah.
Hunnam. Charlie
Wait,
Hunnam.
so who is the guy in Pacific Rim then?
That's him, Charlie Hunnam, from Pacific Rim.
Oh. Oh, okay. Well, then he was also in Tron Legacy 2010.
What? Charlie
I'm on his
Hunnam?
Wikipedia. I'm on the. No. Oh, sorry. You're right. No, no, the guy from Tron Legacy is Garrett Hedlund.
Yes,
Okay.
Garrett
Anyway,
Hedlund,
look alike.
and he tried doing a few things with Disney and then kind of fizzled out.
Mm-mm-mm.
He did a Pan movie too.
Mm.
I liked him. I liked him as an actor. I'm not sure whether they're not using him more.
Yeah.
I dig that guy.
But yeah, Pacific Rim was cool. I thought that was a sweet movie.
Yes. Well, Guillermo del Toro has a great way of personifying, of like putting these great little stories. He makes
Hmm.
things so freaking likable if you're a big anime fan or, you know, and you're a steampunk fan.
So he
Right?
didn't wait. So he didn't do the second one.
No, he didn't do the second one. Somebody else did this Pacific Rim 2. That's why it was
Not nearly as popular either.
it was
From what I
garbage.
understand.
It was garbage.
No,
It was
yeah.
just like basically a vehicle like, hey, let's see how many robots we can fit in one thing. It felt like Transformers movie.
No. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, yeah. When you said big things fighting, it's like heck yeah, let's watch
Heck
it.
yeah. Then you'll like it. You'll like the monster
If
movie.
it's on HBO, I'll probably watch it tonight or something.
Yeah, then there's a lot of head nods to the old monsters.
Mm.
The thing is, I'm hoping that somebody's going to try and buy the rights to Gamera, but I know that was a completely different production house that did Gamera. You know who Gamera was, right?
Mm-mm.
Gamera the
Which one
Flying
is that?
Turtle.
No, I've
So,
never seen a flying turtle.
uh,
How do you
so
spell it? How do you spell it?
Gamera, Gamera. So Gamera was a poor man's.
What is that?
Gamera was a poor man's Godzilla. He's a flying turtle, and he would pull his limbs in, and he would breathe fire, and then his shell would spin around and fly, and that's how he attacked. And he also had he's he was a turtle, so he had natural protection.
He looks like a snapping turtle, kind of.
He is a snapping turtle, but a giant snapping turtle, and he was always good. Gamera.
America.
So in my
Alright.
so what as one of my fan hopes is that we get to see Gamera, but I think it was a totally different. It would be like saying, "Oh man, in the next Marvel movie, I hope we get to see Green Lantern." It's like no,
No.
they're never gonna do that.
They're never going to crisscross. I mean, I'm looking at the character. It looks kind of sounds corny, but if he looked like a badass snapping turtle,
I mean, they're all kind of
uh,
corny. Think about it. There was one. It was a I forget the name. I should know these names, but there was in the Godzilla movies. There was a smog monster who would
oh, that's corny.
look like a manta ray, fly across cities and coat the cities with pollution. Obviously, that's what he did.
That's pretty corny.
Yeah.
That's corny.
Anyway, yeah, but I think we're going to see the Mecha Godzilla in
Are
the
you-
next movie.
Oh,
I do think we're going to see an iteration of it. I can't
that'd
wait.
be cool. That'd be cool. Well, anyways, yeah, guys. I mean, that's anything else you want to talk about? I think that's all for this week
Yeah.
so far. You don't watch football, right? I don't know how to take about that.
No,
Well, anyways,
no, I don't. I mean, I caught the Green Bay game today while getting
Tom
coffee.
Brady is going back to the Super Bowl against. Check this out. This is, I mean, people listening probably aren't. I don't know if you guys watch football, but Tom Brady is going back to the Super Bowl
Yep.
against Patrick Mahomes and the team that won last year. How amazing is that? Tom Brady proving that he didn't need Bill Belichick
Yeah.
to win, at least to go to the Super Bowl. I mean, he proved everybody
No.
wrong. Amazing story.
One of my favorite things to talk about with Tom Brady, like in life, is that like how did he, at this age, how does he do it? Well, he throws the ball. He keeps taking chances.
And you know what the crazy part is too is if anybody knows about Tom Brady, nobody could have even imagined that he'd be as good as he was.
Without drinking dairy, he doesn't do.
Well, he wasn't highly touted at all. If you look at his combine photo, he's just like a schlubby dude.
Oh, you mean way back in the day?
Yeah, so when he wasn't touted highly to come back, he wasn't drafted high. And in his NFL combine, which is, if anybody doesn't know what a combine is, it's when you basically you work out in front of all of the people that you can get drafted to. So you'll run the 40-yard dash, you'll bench 120 or 125 or 225 pounds as many times as you can. You'll jump, you'll do all these things just so they can get like a base level. And he was like slow. He wasn't ripped or anything. And now he's arguably the greatest quarterback of all time. And it's hard to kind of deny that he's not the GOAT. He's just, I mean, every situation, he just kills it.
Yeah.
And if he wins it this time,
it just goes to show.
Against arguably the best QB in the game right now, Patrick Mahomes, if he beats him with his first time with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which, by the way, I'm a lifelong fan because I lived in Tampa for a long time. He should just call it quits. You're on top. How many more Super Bowls do you need, man? You're the greatest.
I don't know. Yeah.
Anyways,
yeah,
that was just a tantrum. Guys, thank you for listening, and we'll see you in the next Roll Parallels.